So, so first, before we get started, does anyone have like what did you hear about Mod 3 or JavaScript, or is there any curiosities that has been burning within someone? Go ahead. Then Ruby? Yeah, yeah, it's definitely. What did you hear that was different? Yeah, yeah, I'd say that's right. Cool. Go ahead. This mod is challenging. Yeah, yeah, I've heard that as well. Definitely. What did you hear that was challenging about it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's fair. It was like learning new language, learning new syntax. You're like, I thought it worked this way, and then it doesn't work exactly the same way. Yeah, totally. Any other thoughts, observations, comments, curiosities? Cool. All right. Well, feel free to like stop me at any time and be like, yo, actually, I did think of something. But this isn't going to take long. I just wanted to kind of show you what to expect from Mod 3. So, like you said, learning a second language. So, I'm just going to go through each of these just kind of at a high level, and then you can stop me and ask me any questions. Um, and I'll show you why, sometimes word superpower is kind of corny, but I think there really is a superpower in learning JavaScript. And I'll show you some cool reasons why I think that later. So it's cool, learning a second language. So there was so much time that all of you just spent like learning your first programming language, if this was your first programming language, like learning like what an object is, learning what a class is, learning inheritance, and then like learning like model view controller and learning like how the internet works. So like a ton of concepts that you've been able to like start to conquer and like get better at. And um, this is going to be a new skill set that you're going to learn, which is like learning your second language. And so I don't know if this is a great analogy. Sometimes I use it, but it's like the first time we teach you programming, it's very hard. You can't like be like, here's a cup, like play with the cup. You can see what a cup does. We have to teach you these really weird uh, mental models, and after you get them, it makes sense, like model view controller, objects, and things like that. And now we're gonna be like, okay, here's spend all this time teaching you, like, for example, what like a trumpet is. You like put your mouth here, you make this weird like blowing noise, and you like change the keys with your fingers, and then it goes through this like weird brass thing, and it's got like a big hole at the end. And now we're gonna be like, okay, cool, kind of like what a trumpet is ish. Here's a tuba. And so what I'm gonna try and do my best to do is not like try and teach all crazy new concepts, but relate to the best of my ability the things you know in Ruby to like what's like JavaScript and what's not like JavaScript, and what are the new parts of like programming concepts and things we're going to learn. But this is a skill in itself, learning a second language. When you know two, it's easier to learn three and then four. And through my career, I started actually at a boot camp 6 years ago, and I learned kind of the same way you were. So I learned from Ruby, and then Sinatra, and then Rails, and then just vanilla JavaScript, um, and then taught myself other languages after that, and different places I've worked. So I guess also just to say hello for a second. Like I said, I'm Kevin. So I went through boot camp, and then after that, I worked at a startup, and I actually quit my like previous life. I moved to New York, stayed with some friends in Jersey, and commuted into Flatiron School, Flatiron District at General Assembly, different boot camp. It was like the 12th cohort to go through them before they expanded or anything. And had this romantic idea of working in a startup. So eventually I did. I worked as a software engineer at a tiny startup. And then after that, I started learning like data science and machine learning. And then eventually I ended up working at Amazon as a software engineer, moved to Seattle, helped build new products at Amazon. So I worked on like Alexa, um, Prime Now, like less than hour delivery, and Amazon Restaurants, which is like Uber Eats or Seamless or something for Amazon. Probably no one knew that even existed. And 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 then I worked at another startup building basically a company in New York. I moved back to do that. And then I was like, man, I love teaching. So I came here because I feel a heart for people who take a risk on themselves and want to like gain a hard skill and be like, I don't even know if I like programming, but this seems like it makes sense to me. Like, let's try it. That's kind of where my heart was at when I started. So if anyone's like that, I feel you. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. But learning a second language, every job I had to learn a new language. So I had to learn like some Java. I had to learn language called Golang. I had to learn Python, and this is going to come in handy in your developer path. So while it can be confusing the first time, it gets easier. Gaining another superpower. Later, I'm just going to pause that one, but basically, you'll see. But a lot of stuff that like the magic kind of that you can see on the web, that's from JavaScript in a lot of ways. And I'll show you what that looks like as I go through some example programs people wrote. And in this mod, you're going to start to put everything together. So you know, like, how to build websites now. You know how to program. And we're going to take you from kind of like Rails developers to full stack web developers in the next 3 weeks. And you're going to learn a framework after that, which is called React. But the stuff you're going to learn in Mod 3 is never going to go away. And it's going to help you learn another front-end framework or really anything else from that point. I only learned just JavaScript. React and another thing called Angular wasn't around then, and I had to teach myself them. But I leaned on the skills that I learned in basically my version of Mod 3 to do that. We're going to cover basically using JavaScript. So you're going to learn JavaScript, plus you're going to learn this stuff. So basically, you're going to learn 3 essential pillars of web programming, front-end web programming. And that'll be something called DOM manipulation, event handling, and communicating with servers with fetch. So we'll go through all of that in the first week. And you'll sink your teeth into these and start to practice them and know what the heck I just said. And we're, just like every other mod, we're going to build a project together, week 3, practice your skills. And let me just, I'll just not talk about that now, but the overall mod layout. What I just want everyone to know what they're getting into for the next 3 weeks is week 1, you're going to become a front-end developer. So by the end of week 1, you could probably go to like Upwork and just be like, yo, I'll take a job and like fix some stuff from someone with the skills that you learned. Like that's like having enough knowledge to kind of be dangerous. You'll have all these 3 pillars that we're talking about. That's like what you're going to learn in week 1. You will be a front-end web developer. Week 2, you're going to become a better front-end web developer. Just like in the process of every mod where you go like, I don't know what's going on, I feel dumb. You'll probably have those feelings in week 1, and you'll start to practice and practice and practice, and then we'll give you better tools and more tools in your toolbox to become an even better web developer in week 2. How the test is going to work? We're going to learn everything you need to know in week 1, even like just until Thursday, I think, and then we're just going to practice Friday. You have the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, and then the code challenge will be on Wednesday. And we're not going to learn any new concepts from that point. We're just going to practice doing different projects until you get really comfortable with these 3 pillars and with JavaScript. We're going to give you new tools. We're going to teach you how to build APIs using some of the skills that you've already learned in Rails and things like that in week 2. And week 3, you're going to put everything together and build your first like full stack web app with JavaScript, which will be really fun. You're going to build your own API. You're going to build your own just front end like single page application, all from scratch with a partner. And I'll also do an optional lecture, which is like whatever someone's interested in, whether you're like, I want to cover something in more depth that we've started to learn throughout the first 2 weeks, or I'll share other things that I know, and whatever anyone's most interested in, we'll do. So before I go any further, any questions on any of this stuff? Cool. All right. This is a strong silent type. I like it. Okay, get out of here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just start to go through things that you can do with JavaScript. Because like I said, gaining a superpower, I really think it is. And I'll show you what I mean. So there's like standard stuff, like building web apps. So like productivity tools like Google Sheets, Todoist, Google Calendar. Imagine if you had to build Google Sheets in just Rails, in Ruby on Rails. Every little cell, every time you do an update, you'd have to have a page refresh. There are like basically like tools that look like normal pieces of software. They're all going to just be using JavaScript under the hood. And that's how all these are built. I'll show you more later. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. All these things use JavaScript for all the interactivity. Anytime you're doing infinite feeds or scrolling or like liking or commenting and you don't do that page refresh, just everything lives in one spot. That's all JavaScript. Fun like YouTube, Twitch, Giphy, all of these pieces of software are the core parts are JavaScript. And buying things, Amazon. I wrote a lot of JavaScript at Amazon. And their web, like Amazon.com and all these things, there's obviously a backend, but a lot of the power of how the thing works and like how these searches work and how like cart systems work on the front end, there's a lot is just JavaScript. You can also build iPhone and Android apps. So we're going to learn React, and then you will know React. Not in Mod 3, in Mod 4, you'll learn React. And my last job, I built an iPhone and Android app using React Native, which is JavaScript that compiles into like Objective-C and Java, which is like what Android apps and iPhone apps are built in. So you will learn the basics of how to of this language and like these concepts and how to apply them, and you can continue your learning after this. So companies that use React Native, for example, all of these ones, various apps that they have are all written just in JavaScript and then compiled into native languages. Building computer apps, so like Slack, Atom, WhatsApp, they all use this thing called Electron. There's other things besides that, but Electron lets you like these are all apps that are just computer programs that are written in JavaScript. There's like lots and lots and lots. And you can learn how to do that. So for example, if I go into Atom, just open, Atom. And I Option Command I, which is a thing you'll get really familiar with. Everything is just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in your Atom editor. I can edit like text colors. I can change things in JavaScript. It's just written in JavaScript. So you're programming in JavaScript. You didn't even know it. Who likes like, if anyone's interested in like drones or robotics or anything like that? Anyone? Okay, cool. We got a couple. Yeah, awesome. So you can write, you can communicate with drones and robots, and I've written all sorts of stuff just in JavaScript. There's something called Johnny5.io or Cyclone.js. And this is, yeah, I don't know if you remember Johnny 5's old movie, but basically people can just like write with Arduinos and things like that, just in JavaScript, which is really cool. And this library, Cyclone.js, lets you do things like communicate with drones and joysticks and Nest monitors and Pebble watches and anything else you can kind of imagine, which is really cool. And is anyone interested in machine learning? Cool, cool. So there's a lot of awesome things that you can do with machine learning in JavaScript. And so Google made this thing called TensorFlow. There's facial recognition things written in JavaScript. I'll just click on one. I won't use this one. I'll actually do a different one. There's one where Flappy Bird is basically somebody built Flappy Learning, which is like Flappy Bird, but like using machine learning to like beat the game. So it'll just like try to test different ways that Flappy Bird should flap and see if we can get through the tunnel. One version, there he goes. Nope. But this is just like visualizing machine learning using JavaScript and like beating Flappy Birds. Go ahead. So machine learning is, so there's data science, and part of data science is like machine learning. Machine learning, so basically like there's many, many different tools in it, but it's like a computer that can start to like take inputs and like make correct statistical like assertions. That'll be like, okay, hey, for example, this Flappy Bird thing. It's like the rules are there's two pipes, and I have to get into just this section of pipes with my Flappy Bird. So it starts to test a bunch of ways to do that, and starts to learn every time it dies. It goes, oh, that wasn't the right version, and it gets better and teaches itself a little more. Yeah, there's a whole blanket thing. And there's many, many tools in it, but conceptually, it's like using machines to like either teach themselves or to like do advanced learning things, like usually applied statistics, computer like basic programming, and domain expertise, which is like if you're going to do machine learning for Flappy Bird, it's really knowing the Flappy Bird world and things like that. Yep. So smart home, Internet of Things. Who's interested in like smart home or Internet of Things? Any of those things? Yeah. So you can program in JavaScript as well. So you can build Alexa apps, Google Home apps, all of that. You can do it with JavaScript, which is really cool. Um, who's interested in creating games? Cool. So you can do a lot in JavaScript with games. So I'm just gonna do a couple weird ones. So this one's just like straight up, just Super Mario with JavaScript. Oh, looks like their account got suspended. I've been using this as an example up until now. Got to find a new one. Goodbye. That's funny. There's one called Video Pong. So this one's funny. It's a Google experiment. Hopefully this one works. Yep, there we go. So you know normal Pong. So this is all just basically HTML, CSS, JavaScript stuff, or different web technologies that are implemented in JavaScript. So you could say, I want to play a bear in Pong, and what happens is your webcam will get activated, and you can see each other play Pong against each other. So you can be like, play a bear. So left and right and space. Okay, let's do a bear. Yeah, so normally there'd be like someone else's face watching each other. Bam, got a point. But anyways, you get the idea. So this is just JavaScript, HTML, and got a longer pedal, and some CSS. So again, that's cool. Oops, let's go back. This is a fun one. This is another thing, combining machine learning and others. So for example, in this case, I can draw things. So give me something to draw. Something simple. A what? A cat. Let's see if it has cat. Uh, this is my cat. It's great. Did it work? No, it looks like a plane. I'm a great drawer. Let's do a, I don't know, a flower. Cool. And it recognized it as a flower now. What is it? I'm amazing. Yes, exactly. So this is machine learning. It's like, oh, these random things. This looks like a flower. Did you mean flower? So that's an example. We will not learn machine learning in Mod 3, but I'm just saying you can use these tools in JavaScript. So now I have this nice flower. I can, I guess, adjust the color and the size. I'm making a big old flower. And I'll say, cool, I made a nice, you made a flower, thanks. And now I can put it in this random world. So it's actually was drawn in New York 3 seconds ago. And there's this like crazy world. Again, this is just HTML, CSS, JavaScript using different web technologies that are implemented in JavaScript. So is that a submarine? A submarine, all right. There's two submarines. What do you, it is kind of, and there's a kayak. And then the kayak, I'm assuming the submarine have to wait in line for the kayak, or you can go underneath it again. I don't know. This is confusing. But anyways, it just keeps going on, and little party boat. So this is, again, you can create like literal worlds using JavaScript. Let's go back. And this will be the README on the lecture for this. You can play around with any of these. Let's see. Yeah, there's so many of these. Yeah, this one will be cool. So this is like a random racing game someone made a long time ago using a technology called WebGL, which is just with JavaScript. So turn, accelerate, and air brakes. Cool. Come on, let's do it. What's up? I hit a booster. Oh, dang, I'm not really good at this. Come on, Kevin. Anyways, this is fun. I just get to play games today. So yeah, so this is JavaScript as well. So the point is, this is what I mean by you're learning a superpower, right? Like a lot of things that maybe you had in your imagination of like what you could do with programming, things start to come to life when you learn JavaScript. So if you do get frustrated, and you will at different times, you have this to look forward to as you persevere past it, just like you did in Mod 1 and Mod 2. And if you continue to learn and learn and learn, I'll bring in the current Mod 4. Goodbye, I'm done. This is getting addicting. So I'll bring in the current Mod 4 on Project Week and let you see some of the things that they did after basically a week and a half of things that you've learned. And then basically like see where it goes from there. So it'll be really fun. Um, so how many people are artists here? Oh no. Ooh, thanks, Eric. I think Eric and Mar on it. Yeah, thank you. I can just hold it in the air if you want. All right, here we go. Cool. All right. So, sorry, man. All right. Let's take care of the laptop first. All right, thank you. Sorry, man. And then his desk. He's got a bunch of coffee when somebody can. All right. Sorry, man. um, well, while they're doing that, uh, just take notes and coffee. There you go. Oh no. It's very beautiful. You're like, let me show you why I'm an artist. Yeah, that's awesome. Good start. Oh man. Well, it happens. I spill coffee all the time. What were you gonna say something? Oh, have anxiety on empathetic anxiety. Me too. I'm like, oh no. All right. So, this is amazing. I love it. It's okay, man. So, well, you might, never mind. I was gonna say just. Um, ooh, yes, there is actually on the seventh floor. There's someone selling. They're like I don't even reusable like mugs that are kind of like that. So we can just get all of those. I've actually ruined at least one laptop from coffee. That one looked okay, just no anxiety, but yeah, yeah. All right, we'll wait till she gets back and then we'll keep going. But so so how many people are artists? I didn't see that. Sorry. He's like, don't move, don't move, don't move. Stay in my happy place. Okay, cool. So you can create art using JavaScript in really, really cool ways. Yeah, thank you. um, so there's some really crazy stuff that you can do. So for example, I'm just going to show you some weird things that people have made. So this reacts to my voice. And it's just an interesting experiment someone made once you understand some core JavaScript technologies. And see how up here it says it's recording. This is actually listening to my microphone. And every time I talk, bah, it reacts like to any noise that I have. So like you can just do really interesting things building art now. Yeah, you can clap in my face if you want. Yep, you get it. Yeah, so really you can create like pretty literal, it feels like magic almost. And particle love is a really weird one. So let's do high quality experience. Who wants a low quality experience? I don't even know why that's an option. So this is an artist who applied his art skills using JavaScript. And so we could see icicle bubbles, hypermix, constraint. These are all like different, basically like interactive things that they wrote in JavaScript. So let's just do the first one, the spirit. Go. And so you can see it follows my mouse around. It's like this weird spirit creature. Pretty incredible. You can change things on it. Say I want this thing to like go crazy fast. It's freaking out. Slow it down a little bit. Let's make the particles 4 million. Oh, I don't know what that's going to do. Let's see. It will restart the demo. Let's do it. I actually haven't done 4 million. I didn't even know that was an option. Holy crap. That's a little too laggy for me. But you get the idea. You basically, like, uh, people can create art in really interesting interactive ways. Can change the colors. Can change the base color. It's really fun. So yeah, and there's a bunch of other examples. Oh, get out of here, back. Um, yeah, all sorts of cool things. You can check them out. So how many people are musicians or enjoy like even dabbling, playing music or anything like that? Cool. All right, so you can write music with JavaScript and do interesting interactive music things. So for example, um, there are you can write and perform music. So people have done really interesting things with like one of the things that's in here. Probably too complicated to show you here, but you can check it out on your own computer. It takes a phone with a website and the same website on your computer, and you can hold your phone over different spots of the website, and it's a music video for an artist, and it's like reveals different parts of what's going on in the music video. So there's like crazy new things that you can do to like interact and like perform music, even live. There's really interesting things too. So let's just do a couple things. So even more simple stuff like Google made a song maker. So let's just launch this experiment. I think I need to take that. That's really loud. And you can change piano or whatever else you want. Let's just clear this. It's kind of gross. And you can like change the tempo and change it to like drum kits or anything else. Oh, staccato. But yeah, you get the idea. So you can like make like little sequencer things. You can also do. I don't remember what this one is. Let's see. Interesting way to view and listen to songs. Oh yeah. So this is actually. So something else I have is that if anyone's interested in playing with them, I purposely bought they're like Google VR cardboard called Google Cardboard. So it's, you put a phone in it and you put piece of cardboard and you put your phone in it and you can make it look like VR. So this one's like a 360 interesting one. So if you had this on your head, you could like look around. And you can see like, oh, here's like the FX, here's the synth, here's percussion, here's bass, here's guitars. So we're just waiting for the rest of the song to load. And I could be like, I don't want to listen to the guitar or the drums. Yeah, so there's like all sorts of really fun things that you can do now, like just using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So let's go back. And you can do really weird stuff. I don't know even who made this, but sometimes it doesn't have to make any sense. You can just have fun making interesting creative things. So this person has someone performing music. By someone, you'll see what I mean. Camera, load. Turn your volume up. Okay. 3D loading. Be chill. All right. Thank you. I'll do my best. You're taking a really long time. So you've got weird dancers here. I don't have any music playing right now, but you can go in and like go to this guy. Oh, you can do crazy backgrounds. You can click here and be like, I want to change hot dog guy, and I want to make his head huge. Make his feet really tiny or really big. And then you could say like, this is a danger zone below. Let's modulate his neck so that he can do all sorts of crazy moves. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, he's just like head bobbing. Rotation amount.
So yeah, you can do all sorts of weird stuff.
That's how I dance.
Me too. Yeah.
That is only the one I got.
That's awesome. Yeah, this guy's just going. I'm gonna close him. He makes me uncomfortable. All right. Yeah. Also, how many of you would consider yourself like a storyteller or like got in journalism or anything? All right. Or no, anything. Storytelling, like in general, it doesn't have to be like just something you're interested in. Yeah. So here, there's really cool ways to tell stories using JavaScript. So I'm gonna play you a story that is just kind of well told. That's the story of Oat the Goat. Mm-hmm. I want you to read it to me. Yeah.
Oh, the goat.
I gotta click. Again, this is just native web elements.
Looking clear. Oh, the goat sit off with another follow deer.
Oh, I gotta click again, sorry. All right.
Climb the massive mountain by step and by hop, across streams and over the hills to the very top.
And if you don't believe me that this isn't just a video, I'll just Command Option I while this is loading. And make sure that we can still see it. I can see this is actually a canvas element. And and you can start to see there's actually a bunch of JavaScript. If you this will know if I pull it over. It'll be like, nope, turn it back right, man. But you can go into sources and you can see all the different so these are images, and these are all images, and you can see there's like all sorts of images, but then there's a bunch of JavaScript as well in here, and different language stuff. So it's really cool, and you'll start to learn how to play with this a lot. But there's just a bunch of JavaScript all over this, so we'll just keep playing. Anyways, you get the idea. I like Oat the Goat too. It's cool. All right. And the story, if I keep playing, feel free to mess with it. There's actually just different choose your own adventure built into it. So you can see there's this really it's kind of creepy / cute creature that a bunch of sheep start making fun of, and you get the choice to join in and make fun of the creature, or be like, no, don't do that, or just try and downplay it. And then you go on different adventures with the goat and this little creature. So telling stories, this is an interesting one as well. So this is for Alzheimer's, and the site will gradually disappear if it's not regularly given memories. And so it's raising awareness. And so you can say tell a memory. And you can record a video or a photo, and it'll put it in this giant sea. Let's look at all these memories. And these are all people using this website, and you can start to see all these memories from just people sharing different stories. And you can click on one. So you can zoom in. I want to click on, I don't know, this one. Yep. Yeah, so there's all sorts of interesting stuff all over the place. There's people from different countries. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if there's any English ones. Yeah, so anyways, there's just all these memories that people shared. The point is that you can do really interesting storytelling through HTML, CSS, JavaScript. AR, VR, so we talked about that. Also, you can see there's this site called experiments.withgoogle.com. And there's all these really crazy things that people have made using there's the one I was showing you. There's all these really interesting ones that I'd recommend checking out if you ever need motivation to be like, yeah, let's get good at JavaScript. Yeah, it's using web technologies that are implemented in JavaScript, meaning like things like WebGL, Canvas. They're all just like, but you use them all in JavaScript. Yep. Or there's like libraries that people wrote that you can then use. So AR and VR. How many people are interested in augmented reality and virtual reality? Cool. So again, if anyone wants to, I have literally, it's called Google Cardboard. Something you're going to get to know about me is I mistype things like a champ, so it'll be great. So this is what it looks like. I have 2 of those just sitting over there. And you basically just like put it on, put a phone in, and you can build web technology that does VR, AR stuff, which is really cool.
I'm so glad they only $7 and not.
The New York Times was giving this out for free, and they were like, they had special links that were like really cool in their cardboard cutout.
That's awesome. Yeah, like that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Cardboard, like you're saying, it's like cheap or you can get it for free and stuff. It's really cool. And then for fun, so another thing is you don't have to build anything like, I have a sense of humor and I like to express it doing weird web things sometimes. So this is a weird website that I enjoy. This is called the Useless Web. If you're ever bored, these are literally just useless websites people make. And then somebody was just like, aggregate them. I don't know. Take me to a useless website, please. Hey, oh, hey, it just redirects from hey, and then ho, and then hey, and then ho. Yeah, they bought 2 domains and just redirected back and forth. Oh God, the history. Stop. No. Back. Okay, I'm done. Let's go to another one. The passive aggressive password machine. Imagine your in-laws are helping you with a password. This is what they'd say. And so you can start typing a password in. Yep, so then we go to another useless website. This is move now, think later. Is this just 2 people playing? I've never even seen this. People playing checkers, like 2 computers playing checkers against each other. Okay, that is useless. Cool. Tiny Tuba?
Tiny Tuba.
That's all it is.
When I click it, it does that. All right, that is useless. Let's just do 2 more. Bees.com. Okay. Final one. Whoa. Falling.com. So it's just like cool animation of things falling. It's pretty trippy. Anywho, you get the idea. For example, the last Mod 5 class, they were talking about doing this, having a crab party, and so like I just quickly made a weird extension called I think it's in the Chrome store. I put it in the Chrome store. It's called King Crab Party, and I just activate party time, and it just literally puts crabs all over, and they crawl around. It's very terrifying. Yeah, and actually, if I go back to normal size, this is the normal size. So they start out real tiny, and they just kind of creep everywhere, just hang out on your website. Anywho, completely useless. Another student just put it on the first student's computer and just like hid the extension, and then there's those crabs everywhere on their computer. They're like, what happened? So just fun stuff like that. And if I want to stop crab, this is, again, literally it's 100% JavaScript and then some images. Even the animation stuff is in JavaScript. Yeah, so that's it. I didn't want to take too much time this morning. I just wanted to kind of show you some crazy things that you can do with JavaScript. I wanted to give you a chance to like see my face and to ask any questions about what you're curious about or anxious or excited about in Mod 3, and also kind of give you a walkthrough of what's going to happen. So that being said, any other questions? And the reason I wanted to show you all the things you can build with JavaScript is because this may seem like a far, long way off, but you'll see one by some of the apps that people made at the end of their Mod 3 projects. Pretty pretty amazing, and you can do very, very powerful magical things after just like 2 weeks of learning this. So I'm really pumped for all of you to start to do that. And I just want to give you what your future self can be capable of doing. Any questions? Cool. All right. Actually, one other thing I want to do is, so you know me now. Hello, you're going to be stuck with me for the next 3 weeks. But I also want to introduce Mar as well. So.
Hi, hello. I've met a lot of you guys for seeing you around. Sorry, y'all, not guys. And
Yeah. So she's your going to be your other TCF hanging out. So feel free to ask myself, or see all of you probably are sick of Eric already. But I love him, and I'm excited to be working with him again. But if you need anything from any of us, we're just going to be at the instructor table. So feel free to ask me anything, literally anything. I'm down to listen, and especially if you're curious about something. I'm just a very curious human. I want to like help satiate your curiosity. That's all I have. For the later after lunch, we're going to get into actual lectures, and you're going to learn your first like concept of the first three, which will be DOM manipulation. And hopefully you've started to work through all of the labs. If you haven't, keep using this time to do that. And we'll probably deploy a couple other things that will help you get some of the basics of JavaScript down. One of the things that can be frustrating is being like, okay, I know what .map is in Ruby. What the heck is .map in JavaScript? It's actually .map, but they work a little differently. And so learning the nuances is going to be really helpful. The earlier, the better. Yeah, that's it. Any final question? More questions? Nothing? All right. Thanks.